first one is about the strategic committee. If you can tell us something more in terms of objectives and also in terms of expected next steps for the upcoming future.
Okay. So the Strategic Committee of the International Federation of Catholic Universities is a committee that brings together the founding universities of FIUC, and Sacro Cuore is naturally one of the most important founding members, if not the most important founding member, with some of the top Catholic universities in the world. And the intent behind the Strategic Committee is to provide a strong voice about the way in which Catholic institutions and Catholic universities see the role of research and higher education for the future, and taking into consideration also the challenges that Pope Francis gives us to work in networks, to be dialogical, to be not only a church that goes forth, but universities that goes forth. We need to bring together the top universities in the Federation and work together to empower the values that shape Catholic higher education in the world.
Cool. Just a quick one, because it's not 100% clear to us. What's the relationship, if any, between the strategic committee and the Sacro? So, if any, because
it's a different thing.
Okay.
So the strategic committee is for the Federation. It is a committee that will, it's an advisory committee for the President and for the Federation of Catholic Universities, which is the oldest university association in the world, we must say. Sacro is more of a boutique initiative dedicated to research, and it brings together some of the most research-intensive Catholic universities. It has a global representation, so it brings together 3 universities from Europe, Sacro Cuore, Cattolica Portuguesa, Ramon Llull in Spain, 2 universities in Latin America, Chile, PUC Chile and PUC Rio. From the United States, Boston College, from Australia, the Australian Catholic University, and Sophia University in Tokyo. So our idea is to work together to drive an agenda for research, for top research. So all of these universities are extremely well positioned in research impact, research outputs. We share common goals, and so we decided, in order to further the Catholic vision of research, we need to start with the top institutions that work together. So it is within FIUC, but it is different than the. It is it is not linked to the strategic committee.
Okay, that's very clear. Thanks a lot. The last one,
Yeah.
that's a tough one. But so, in this rapidly changing world of globalization, where economics indicators are the king, what can be the role and the added value of a Catholic university in forming the managers and professionals of the future?
Very important question. First, we believe that universities are not simply about professionalization in technical terms. Of course, we will provide technical skills for the youth of the future, but we believe that higher education is about formation and forming the integral person, and bringing the values of ethics, of relation, of respect for other human beings, for respect for those who hold opinions different than our own, of defending the values of democracy. So it's not simply about instrumental reasoning, it's about educating the person. And this is part of the mission of Catholic universities that we have to respond to. That is our most important contribution, and to work in our communities, in our nations, but also in the world, because science nowadays and the problems that we face are not national, they are global. And so the Federation, and in the Catholic spirit of universality, upholds the mission of the Church in its universal dimension, its dialogic dimension, but also furthering the indicators and the dimension of excellence that must characterize the education at Catholic universities.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the last one I promise. So about the next steps, I forgot it. Sorry, of the committee.
Okay. So the committee, the strategic committee, we will be meeting in Lisbon in June 28th. We will have a meeting as well. In that meeting, the European Commissioner for Science, Carlos Moedas, will be participating. He will be one of the speakers. And we will be, planning for the next steps for implementing actually the goal of the strategic plan of the Federation, which is a global voice for a common future. Next year, the committee will meet at the United Nations, and that's where we want to continue to further our voice.